Hello and welcome to Czapek. We are in summer 2022 in Geneva. This is the Geneva Watch Days and I'm going to introduce you to the new watches we have created for this occasion. So the theme is revisiting history. We have started with the Quedeberg 42.5mm exactly 6 years ago, 7 years ago. In 2015, at the end of the year, presenting a watch that a year later would become the winner of the public prize in the Grand Prix of Geneva. And we wanted to make an evolution of this watch. And the evolution has been based on a very unexpected visit that happened in March 2016 in Baselworld. It's a visit that was paid to us by a very, very famous, maybe the most famous watchmaker alive today. And the connection immediately was created, and we listened to his point of view and to his comments. And these comments became ideas for us of how to make evolution the watch toward an even higher quality or an even higher execution. And this is what we have been able to do, following these first inputs and adding also what we had learned during these 6 years, and especially what I would call the Antarctic Spirit. The Antarctic Spirit, which is based on redesigning a movement with a completely open work approach and the capacity to see all the details as if it was a watch made for a kid who would like to understand everything without knowing and who would be capable to see through every detail. The result of this reflection has been to start by improving, upgrading, bringing higher our first caliber, the one of our collection Quedeberg, and make an evolution of it. We started with the escapement, introducing a variable inertia concept, the same one that we use for the Faubourg de Cracovie or for the Antarctic. This variable inertia allows us, with a little weight, to fine-tune very precisely and set the watch in a perfect tic-tac timing. This is what ultimately makes that your watch keeps a very good time over a very long period. Then we worked on the finissage, on the gear train. And here the idea was to open the bridges and show every wheel of the finissage to discover this beautiful movement. And the last point was the one that was inspired from the discussion with this very famous watchmaker, that was to introduce mid-glass stone, mid-glass rubices, so that we would have a much better reduction of friction and a much better lubrication. And this is what has been achieved through this first movement. But this is not it. We have also worked on the other side. And we have decided to get inspired by the color of the summer and introduce a large version of our sapphire blue and also an emerald green. Both watches are flanqué dials. So flanqué dials are made of enamel with a silver plate. The idea here is to work on the matrix, have a guilloche being made, and then from the matrix we stamp a silver plate, and on the plate we put the enamel. This is done by Cadran, Gravage and RVK. Both last two companies belong to Metalem, so you see it's a very close collaboration that we can achieve by creating these two dials. The blue is unique to Czapek. This is our blue. It's been made after many, many iterations working with Cadran, who has reserved us this blue. The green in itself is a very special hue, inspired by the British racing green and going a little bit toward a modern rainforest. These are colors that are made of enamel and that allow you to see through the beautiful engraving of the guilloche ricochet. So you knew the first Quedeberg, the one that brought us back to life in 2015 and 16. Now you can discover the new Quedeberg, Both births were difficult. You would be surprised. We discovered that actually making the evolution of an existing movement is nearly as difficult as starting from scratch like we did for the Antarctic. But in any case, this is a journey that leads us to always go forward and try to pass a new frontier. The Kennebec is a manually wound 7-day power reserve. I think in terms of function in a collection, a manual winding is important. You want to have at least one. And a 7-day is probably the best way to express it, because it takes the rhythm of our life, the rhythm of our weeks, and you wind it on a free day and enjoy the time during the 7 days. So continue to enjoy time, that's the best, and see you soon in Geneva.